It's our house, man. Look around.
Won't lose at home.
Ain't nobody whooping us at the crib. I don't know what kind of man would let somebody come in his house and whoop him. I don't know where y'all come from, but where I come from, ain't nobody coming in your house. Ain't nobody coming to your street. Ain't nobody coming to your block. Ain't nobody coming to your crib that's gonna whoop you. Understood? You know why? It's personal. 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 It's personal.
I really don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think Colorado might actually be legit. I know it's only been 2 games. They've played TCU and Nebraska. They haven't played the best teams on their schedule yet that are going to come in the Pac-12, but man, does this Colorado team look legit. I was going to say they shocked the world once again, but considering they were favorites, they didn't do that at all. Speaking of which, Colorado was favored by only 2.5 points in this game. Personally, I would have been all over them. I'm not exactly sure why the sports books had Nebraska as a 3-point underdog. Safe to say, they're not going to get games wrong like this moving forward, because holy crap, what a beatdown this was. Colorado knocked off Nebraska 36-7. Now, after the first quarter, this was a close game, as it was 0-0. And I guess late in the second quarter, it was also close as well, because it was still 3-0, and Colorado didn't take a 10-0 lead until 2 minutes left in the half. But from that point on, this was an absolute beatdown, and Colorado just dominated. I mean, I don't even know where to begin in this game. Actually, I think I do, because it's pretty easy. Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, this guy is legit. He is a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate, and he's definitely one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. I know in the past week, I've been getting some flack in regards to some things I said about Sanders during the offseason. When I did my top 100 quarterback rankings, I had him definitely a little lower than he should have been. I think I had him ranked in the low 40s. Now, in that video, I did say with Shedeur Sanders, I know he's talented, but I want to see him prove it at the FBS level first. Well, safe to say, he's proved it, and I have no problem saying I believe he's a top 10 quarterback in all of college football. Although he had an insane performance last week against TCU, you can make the case that today he looked even better. He completed 31 of 42 passes for just under 400 yards. He had 2 passing touchdowns and honestly could have had a couple more in this game. He got sacked a bunch of times, so don't let his rushing yards fool you. He did look pretty good on the ground as well, and he also had a rushing touchdown to go along with that. I've been blown away with how good he's looked facing teams like TCU and Nebraska. He looks legit, and again, I think he's truly a Heisman candidate at this point. Meanwhile, if you want to have him as an MVP, a co-MVP would be Xavier Weaver, who really just went nuclear in the receiving game. He led the team with 10 receptions and had 170 receiving yards with the receiving touchdown. The South Florida transfer is honestly looking like one of the better transfers of the entire offseason. Jimmy Horn Jr. also had a great game, as he was second on the team with 8 receptions and had 64 receiving yards. Travis Hunter had a quiet day, kind of, compared to last week. He still caught 3 passes for 73 yards and had a number of big plays on defense as well. But yeah, although Colorado's offense is going to be what everyone's talking about, their defense really stepped up big time in this game. Now, that kind of goes both ways. Their defense really looked good, but another portion of that was because Nebraska's offense, and Jeff Sims in particular, looked horrible. I mean, if you watch this game, Jeff Sims might honestly be one of the worst quarterbacks in all of college football. This dude was turning the ball over on every play, and he couldn't throw it. So, yeah, Nebraska's offense was horrible, but again, major shout out to Colorado's defense, because they held Nebraska to only 7 points, and essentially nothing else. That touchdown came on a Jeff Sims 50-yard run. If you take that out of the equation, Nebraska didn't really have any big plays all game. Overall, the Buffs defense had 6 tackles for loss, 3 pass deflections, and 2 sacks. I mean, this is what I talked about this past week. I said if Colorado had one weakness, it was going to be their defense, but they held strong today, and man, did they look good. It's really hard not to buy into the hype with Deion Sanders and what he's done with this team through 2 games. I mean, there's been spurts where Colorado kind of looks iffy, but for the most part, this has been a team that has looked like the better team in these last 2 weeks. And again, I get these aren't top 10, top 15 teams in the country, but Nebraska's defense is no slouch. TCU, I get their defense was pretty bad, but that's an offense that's really good. And Colorado has been the better team through the first 2 games. As I'm recording this right now, I just looked over and saw that Nebraska scored a touchdown with 1 second left. It was a meaningless touchdown, so earlier when I said Colorado only allowed 7 points, I'm not going to count Nebraska scoring a random touchdown with a second left in this game. Before I talk about the rest of today's game, we need to talk about Underdog Fantasy. If you guys haven't signed up yet, you're truly missing out. Underdog Fantasy is the #1 place where you can make watching college football games even more exciting and even win money doing so. If you sign up using promo code Harris, you'll receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game. If you watched my video yesterday, you would know that we had a couple winners today. I said to go higher on Jeff Sims and his rushing yards, and I said to go lower on Shedeur Sanders having 3 passing touchdowns. Granted, both of those were close calls, but they were both winners. You can pick at least 2 players and choose as many as 5 for a single entry. If you deposit $50, Underdog will add $50 to your account. If you deposit $100, that'll be $100 of free money. So if you'd like to win money this college football season and help support the channel, make sure to download the Underdog Fantasy app and use promo code Harris for a 100% deposit match up to $100. You guys can also sign up using the link in my description. So now the question for Colorado is, how long do they keep this up? Well, I can guarantee they're going to keep this up for at least 1 more week, considering they're playing Colorado State at home next weekend. That should be an easy win, and Colorado's probably going to blow them out of the water. So, if that goes according to plan, Colorado is going to start the season 3-0. But that's when their schedule is going to get insane. They're going to have to go on the road to take on number 13 Oregon, and then they're going to follow that up by hosting number 6 USC. So, those 2 games right there are going to tell us everything we need to know about Colorado. But we'll just wait until those games happen and just enjoy what this Colorado team has done so far. Personally, I didn't make a prediction prior to the season, but I didn't think Colorado would win any more than 4 games. I thought they could potentially win 2, maybe 3, but I definitely didn't think 4 was going to be in the cards. Now, looking at their schedule the rest of the way, I definitely could see them picking up a couple of more victories and even being a bowl-eligible team. So again, I want to tip my hat to Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter, and Shedeur Sanders because they have exceeded my expectations. They've proved me wrong, and this Colorado team looks like a legitimate threat, potentially in the Pac-12. I'm not going to go as far to say they're a legitimate playoff team just yet, but I definitely think this could be a team that makes some noise in the Pac-12 this season. So, what are your guys' thoughts on Colorado and how they've looked through the first 2 weeks of the season? Did you think they were going to knock off Nebraska today, or did you think the Cornhuskers were going to pull off the upset? Also, let me know what you think about Colorado moving forward the rest of the season. Do you think they're going to be able to put up a fight against teams like Oregon and USC, or do you think this is going to be the best they look the rest of the season? Whatever your thoughts are on Colorado, Deion Sanders, and this fun team, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you guys sign up on Underdog Fantasy using promo code Harris. They're essentially giving you $100 of free money, and you can make the college football season that much more exciting. I mean, seriously, imagine watching a college football game with your favorite players and winning money because these players are performing well. It makes the games that much more fun, and plus, who doesn't like winning money as well? Again, use promo code Harris and receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day, so if you're a college football fan, this is definitely the place for you. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that confusing YouTube algorithm, and it does help share the video with more college fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.